Howie, good to see you this morning.
Thank you, Maria. Thanks for having me. Happy Veterans Day.
And to you. Both Trump and Obama have both harshly criticized one another in the past. What's your reaction to the swift change in rhetoric from both parties during that meeting yesterday?
I guess they were polite in a pro forma sort of way, but you're right. I mean, what are you going to say when last week Obama was accusing him basically of being a member of the Ku Klux Klan? And, you know, we all know about the birther controversy. I thought it went about as well as expected. They both said the right things. It would have been nice if Obama had agreed to a photo op with the president-elect, but you know, I guess as the song goes at his campaign rallies, you can't always get what you want.
Yeah, it's funny that they didn't take a photo op. What do you guys think about that?
I thought this was as good as it could possibly get.
As good as it's gonna get, right?
Given the tensions between these two individuals, but what people have said all along to us when Donald Trump was running, despite the bluster and the showmanship and him saying things that were outrageous, when you meet him one-on-one, he's a very reasonable person, and he does listen, and he does digest ideas, and he's quite a likable man. And so I think possibly we're going to see more of that person on the national stage.
Yeah,
because he's the president-elect.
I was talking about President Obama because, you know, he's been so vocal about Donald Trump. So it's interesting to see him pull it in yesterday.
I think these two men are men who are sportsmen, and I think that they both know how to sort of shake hands and move forward. And, you know, I really was happy about what I saw yesterday, photo op aside. I think what we saw is two leaders of the free world who could sit together and be pleasant and be positive. And I actually just thought it looked very sportsmanlike, and I hope that we will see more of the same.
Well, you hope that the protesters grow up and take a lead from the president. Howie, Trump is not wasting any time getting ready to change Wall Street regulations once in office. His transition team posted on their website the following statement. The Dodd-Frank economy does not work for working people. The financial services industry implementation team will be working to dismantle the Dodd-Frank Act and replace it with new policies to encourage economic growth and job creation. What's your take on Trump's plans to dismantle President Obama's policies, like Obamacare, like Dodd-Frank?
I don't think Dodd-Frank was the big applause line on the campaign trail that repealing Obamacare or ripping up the Iranian nuclear deal was. But it's important, and again, I think this is a good indication that Trump has really hit the ground running. I mean, he's hitting all the right bases. You know, Dodd-Frank means a lot to people on Main Street, if not Wall Street. And he dealt with it. He's dealing with it immediately. And I'd be surprised today if there's not something about the Veterans Administration being Veterans Day. I mean, he's going to reach out to all the elements of his coalition. And I think he's hitting the right notes. I mean, look at the stock market the last couple of days. It was humorous on Tuesday night when the futures tanked. I think at one point they were down 800 points, but once people woke up on Wednesday morning, they said this is not such a bad thing. And
that's right.
And I tell you, I think repealing Dodd-Frank is going to send another good message to the market.
Yeah, because we know these are the rules that have been hampering small business.
Yeah, Howie, how quickly?
It's hard to get a loan. Everybody knows that. You know, unless you're a big guy.
Howie, he's talked about moving quickly. How quickly can we actually expect results here, though? I think people have an expectation that Obamacare is gone, Dodd-Frank is gone, but it takes a long time to transition out of these policies. What can people expect there?
I think the only thing that I don't think anybody's expecting, to get a new letter from their insurance company saying, never mind, the premiums aren't going up so much. No one's expecting that. It's just that you've just got to show everybody, your voters, that you haven't forgotten these problems. I mean, another thing that I don't think too many people have talked about. How about Keystone XL pipeline?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's something that really is important, I think. And opening the fracking ban on federal lands. I know energy prices are low, but again, these are important symbolic messages. You're telling people like Reagan did in 80 or 81 that America is open for business again. We're going to try to get the economy moving. Donald Trump talked about these 95 million Americans that aren't working. I mean, we want them back in the job market. I think everybody does, except maybe the protesters.
I watched Paul Ryan, Speaker of the House, on Bret Baier last night.
Yeah, me too. I saw it.
I don't mean to laugh, but he was giddy. He literally was giddy after his meeting with Donald Trump about the possibilities. He was like, we can actually get things done. And I think that highest on the agenda is tax reform and creating jobs. And once the government can get out of the way in terms of dialing back some of these orders, you know, the leading by fiat, if you will, from the president, whether it's the EPA regulations, just as one example.
Obamacare.
Obamacare. But again, there was real optimism and excitement coming out of Paul Ryan, which I thought was terrific.
And I think everyone...
I wonder what he was on, but he's just, they've got a Republican majority now, and they're ready to do stuff.
There you
go.
How
about the fact, too, that, you know, Ryan ran for president, vice president in 2012. He couldn't carry Wisconsin. Guess what?
Yeah.
Trump did. Same with Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney couldn't carry his home state of Michigan, right. and Trump could.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys have to be pretty impressed with his power to sway the voters.
He said last night in that Brett Baer interview, Paul Ryan said Donald Trump had coattails. That's what he said, to highlight the fact that people who didn't get behind him got hurt in their election, in their elections and re-elections.
They have pulled up some of the Senate and House.
And they have the keys to the kingdom right now, but it's kind of like those of us who've served with the Marine Corps know about pugil stick fighting. The second they blow the whistle, you got to hit hard to the head right away and start knocking out those policies. So I think that today's a day, and as we move forward, take some lessons from the Marine Corps, whose birthday was yesterday, by the way.
That's right.
So happy birthday, Marine Corps, to hit hard, hit fast with those policies, because you definitely have 2 years, and then we'll see.
By the way, a lot of speculation about the transition team, about the cabinet. The transition team apparently will also include billionaire investor, technology executive Peter Thiel. Howie, what do you think of Trump adding another billionaire to the team? Peter Thiel has been very supportive of Donald Trump. Now he's added to the transition team.
I think he would be perfect. I mean, look at this. He's a billionaire. He's an immigrant. He's gay. He's a evangelical Christian. I mean, and he put Gawker out of business this year. I mean, he's had a career year already. I think his name was being floated earlier for the Supreme Court. He's gone to law school. He used to be a clerk to somebody in the appeals court. I think any way they can get him into a position of prominence would be great. I mean, he's the perfect symbol of the new America, I think.
I want to add one really quick thing, because Amazon got hammered yesterday, and now the stock was in correction territory as of yesterday. And we talked about the kind of Bezos versus Trump thing. Jeff Bezos did tweet yesterday, "Congratulations to Donald Trump. I, for one, give him my most open mind and wish him great success
tell
in
it to the
his
Washington
service
Post
to
editors.
the country."
Everybody's got an open mind now.
He's got an open mind now that Trump will...
What happens to those 20 reporters at the Washington Post that were digging up dirt on Trump all through the fall?
They're still digging, Howie. That was extraordinary, by the way. And that's why this election was like a complete repudiation against the media. They come out with 20 reporters, looking for dirt on Trump, and they didn't have any extras on Hillary Clinton, the one who was under FBI investigation.
Yeah, I love the headline yesterday in the Washington Post, though. I think it was White House refuses to rule out pardon for Hillary Clinton. That tells you all you need to know about the Hillary Clinton campaign, I think.
Yeah, I guess so. Howie,